The price of cheese. Carlos Carrasquero. The old merchant had learned to measure distance not in miles but in aches. Every league pressed deeper into his bones, and so when the mist lay thick across the road that morning, he decided he had earned a pause. He drew his wagon to a stop at the very edge of the forest, where the trees stood like a wall of dark witnesses. The horse lowered its head gratefully. The world was quiet except for the faint drip of dew from leaf to leaf. The forest had a reputation. Villagers had warned him in low voices while weighing out his grain and fingering his bolts of cloth. They said the woods were not empty. They said the mist carried breath that was not the wind. The merchant had nodded at them all, smiling with the polite patience of a man who had heard every story twice before. He climbed down from the wagon with a grunt and reached into a wooden chest for his breakfast. A small loaf of bread, hard at the crust but soft within. A wedge of cheese wrapped in cloth. Simple comforts. He settled himself against the wheel, boots damp with grass, and began to eat. The mist curled at the tree line like pale fingers. He stared at the forest as he chewed, more from habit than suspicion. He had spent half his life staring into trees, gauging danger from the stillness of branches and the tilt of shadows. This morning, there was nothing. No birdsong, no movement. Only a gray hush. He blinked. It stood there, not emerging from the trees, not stepping between trunks. Simply there, as if the world had remembered it too late and placed it in the clearing to correct the mistake. The merchant's breath halted in his throat. The creature was tall and narrow, its limbs too long for comfort, its skin the pale sheen of something that had never known the sun. Its face was a suggestion more than a shape, with hollows where eyes might be, and a thin crease that could have been a mouth. It made no sound. It only regarded him. He tried to move. He found that he could not. The cheese rested in his hand. The bread lay forgotten on his knee. His heart beat so loudly he was certain the thing could hear it. The creature took a step forward, then another. Its feet did not disturb the grass. It came close enough that he could see a faint rise and fall along its narrow chest. Close enough that if he leaned forward, their foreheads might touch. Terror has a way of stripping a man down to essentials. The merchant had bargained with kings of stubborn temper and bandits with quick knives. He knew that sometimes the only coin that mattered was what you held in your hand. Very slowly, with the care of a man handling glass, he raised the wedge of cheese. The creature paused. It tilted its head. It leaned in and inhaled. Then it opened that thin crease of a mouth and took a bite. It chewed. Loudly. Deliberately. The sound echoed in the mist. When it swallowed, the noise was deep and satisfied. The merchant blinked. He was chewing again. The forest stood at a distance. The wagon wheel pressed into his back, bread in one hand, cheese in the other. The creature sat beside him now, close enough that its shoulder brushed his arm. Without looking at it, he lifted the cheese once more. The creature leaned in, took another bite, and swallowed with that same cavernous gulp. The merchant stared ahead into the mist, his mind struggling to arrange the world into something sensible. "Well," he muttered faintly, holding the cheese out for yet another bite as he too took one from the bread. "They did warn me the forest was haunted.